Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here in Melbourne with you. You are aware that I had come here to attend the G20 meeting. At the outset, I must compliment the Government of Australia for their organizing capability during the G20 summit. You must be aware that the G20 leaders are still worried about the recovery of the global economy. So are you. We all have to find ways for speedy recovery, sustainable and inclusive growth. Sometimes problems come to us so that we become stronger, we become more disciplined. I take the global economic scenario in that spirit. With me, there is also a very impressive business delegation from India present here. You may like to interact with them at your convenience. Friends, you may be aware that in India, we have just witnessed a historic election. The elections mark a turning point in our democracy. This election has indicated people's high aspirations and their belief that this can be realized through democratic process. This was amply reflected in the record participation by voters and a clear verdict in favor of one political party after a gap of 30 years. Since day one, my government is actively working for revive the economy. My government is committed to create a policy environment that is predictable, transparent, and fair. Reforms are being undertaken to enhance the ease of doing business. We are on the path of reforms and rejuvenation. We have undertaken massive efforts in changing the work culture, systems of delivery to speed up and make them more transparent. You may be aware that our economic growth had slowed down during the last few years. Now, my government is putting all efforts to ensure faster and inclusive growth. The results are very encouraging. We registered 5.7% growth in the first quarter of the current financial year. This is 1% higher than the previous year. According to the latest OECD forecast, India will be the only country among world's top economies which would increase its pace of growth this year. HSBC's latest report has identified India as the world's largest growing exporter, which is set to move from 14th to 5th largest exporter in the world by 2030. We have put focus on building the infrastructure through public and private investments. This will include national roads as well as rural infrastructure, irrigation works, linking of rivers, modernization of railway, and network of high-speed railway. Existing ports will be modernized. New world-class ports will be developed along India's coast. In order to promote port-led development, ports will be connected to the hinterland through road and rail. Inland and coastal waterways will be developed as major transport routes. Low-cost airports will be built to improve connectivity to the smaller towns. To upgrade manufacturing infrastructure, the government is setting up world-class investment and industrial regions along the dedicated freight corridors and industrial corridors. We are also planning to build 100 smart cities equipped with world-class amenities. In order to execute the infrastructure plan, a fast-track PPP mechanism is being put in place. Government of India is working towards single window clearance at the federal and state levels. We are also keen to move towards the next generation infrastructure. We need highways and we need highways too. And when I say highways, it means information ways. Under the Digital India initiative, IT will be used to drive government process to improve service delivery and program implementation. The government is rolling out a broadband program to reach every village. We have recently launched Make in India initiative to encourage growth of manufacturing in the country. Initiative will focus on doing away with red tape and promote the ease of doing business. All applications and process will be made online. We are particularly promoting labor-intensive manufacturing. The defense sector has been opened to 49% foreign direct investment, and the railways up to 100%. Friends, India has three things to its credit: democracy, demography, and demand. We are trying to harness this strength through good governance. The government has begun by trusting its citizens as well as businesses. Our greatest strength is that 65% of the population is below 35 years of age. No one can question the talent of Indian youth after the achievement of the Mars orbiter mission. Everything was indigenous. In very, very small factories, every component was made to make the mission successful. We have large numbers of hands to work. And you'll be surprised. Our Mars mission was less cost than the Hollywood film. Hollywood films were costlier than our Mars mission. So one can understand how the Indian youth talent can work. One can understand it. Number of hands to work, but we have even larger number of dreams to be realized. Therefore, employment opportunities are being enhanced by promoting manufacturing, tourism sector, and agro-based industries, particularly value addition. I have always said that development process should result into benefit for the people along with the economic players. Skills play this dual role. Therefore, in my government, we have established a new ministry for skill development. I am aware that India and Australia are working closely in the areas of skill development and education, and we greatly value our engagement in this area. Lot of our boys and girls are studying in your universities. In yet another major initiative towards inclusive development, we have launched a national drive to open bank accounts for every adult citizen. In a 10-week period after the launch of the drive, 71 million new accounts with deposit of US dollars 900 million were opened. This is perhaps the biggest initiative for financial inclusion undertaken by a government. India and Australia are both strong and resilient economies. However, our trade is still confined to a small basket of largely primary commodities. Your measures in mining, telecom, ports, banking, and insurance have a foothold in India, but they are yet to take big positions. On a positive note, it provides me some comfort to note that India is investing heavily in the mining sector. Major investments are being made by some of our biggest mining and infrastructure companies. Our IT companies are providing value to your market through their services. However, we need to import more. We need to impart more dynamism in bilateral trade and investment relations. Within India, we are working hard to create conducive environment for the trade and industry. We are confident that our new measures will help increase your interest in India. We greatly value our relationship with Australia. We need your partnership to overcome the challenges we face in education, health, energy, security, science and technology, and infrastructure. Particularly, we need your involvement in high-end technology so that India can fully utilize its potential. We are committed to change this scenario, and that is where opportunities lies for you. If it is enriching for you, It is also rewarding for you. The large and growing Indian community in Australia has integrated well and made significant contribution to build bridges between the two countries. We are proud of their achievements and commend them for their efforts and success. The brothers and sisters of the Indian community will further help us to consolidate the partnership between the two countries. We have to work for peace, prosperity, and progress in the world. Pacific, and I would like to say that Asia Pacific look forward to working together with the government, business, and people of Australia. I assure you of my personal attention for your success in our country. I thank the Australian Prime Minister and his government and their dignitaries for the love, respect, and hospitality they gave to us. While parting with you, I invite you to India. I can say with confidence that presently you have the best time to be in India. You have the best terms to work in India, and both for business and life. You have the best taste to relish in India. Thank you very much. And thank you, Your Excellency, Governor. You gave me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.